Hello everyone and welcome back to Hannah's Happy Home. Today's video is going to be a whole house cleaning, but I'm going to be doing my fall deep cleaning. So I will be working my way through the house room by room, cleaning as I go. I don't really have a list today, just kind of have in my head what I want to get done in each room. I know the spaces that I want to deep clean. There's going to be a lot of windows, a lot of dusting. This shower needs to be cleaned. Stay tuned until the end of the video to see how I clean this. Also just doing some basic everyday cleaning in some of these rooms as well. And I don't get to my entire house in this video, but I did have the top rooms that I wanted to clean and I did get those rooms clean. So those rooms are my office and then just the main area of our home, which is the dining room, the kitchen, and the living room. I also deep clean our laundry room, 2 bathrooms, and our bedroom. So there is just going to be a lot of fall deep cleaning motivation and inspiration in today's video. I hope that you enjoy it. If you do, be sure and give this video a thumbs up. After tidying up my office, I headed to the cleaning closet to gather all the supplies that I will need to deep clean our home today. So I've got glass cleaner, some dusters, microfiber cloths, paper towels, and then I will be making a DIY cleaner as well here in a minute. But I'm starting off by dusting my shelves here in the office, just kind of going through the room and dusting each surface. This office deep cleaning took me most of the morning just because there was so much that needed to get done in here. All the windows needed to be cleaned. There was a lot of dust and some cobwebs, so it felt good to get this room clean. Now I'm going to make a DIY all-purpose cleaner, and this is just a few drops of dish soap. I fill the bottle then half with hot water, the rest of the way with white vinegar, and then added in a few drops, probably about 7 drops of this essential oil. Since we're doing fall deep cleaning, I chose a fall scent for the essential oil, and I mixed all this up in a glass bottle that I got from Hobby Lobby. So that natural acidity of white vinegar helps to dissolve grime and deodorize surfaces. Now be sure that you don't use this cleaner on porous surfaces like natural stone, granite, or marble, but you can use it on every other surface in your home. If you want an exact recipe, I'll put it here on the screen. You can do 1 cup white vinegar, 1 cup hot water, or just fill your spray bottle half and half with each, and then do 10 to 20 drops of essential oil, a few drops of dish soap. These are both optional. Then you just shake it up in a spray bottle and it's ready to use. So right now I'm working at cleaning the surfaces with this cleaner, starting with my desk, my computer, everything I have sitting on here, and then I'll wipe down the chairs that I have in this room, the coffee table, and then I will get started on these windows. As always in these cleaning videos, feel free to share all of your favorite cleaning tips and ideas. I would love to read through those, and I know everyone else would as well. If you have any specific deep cleaning tips and hacks, ideas, be sure to share those. And also let me know down in the comments, does it feel like fall where you live right now? We have days where it is starting to feel like fall, and then we'll have some hot days again. The last week we've been having a lot of rainy days, which has really cooled down the weather. Our evenings are cooler, and I am looking forward to fall and winter. I always like to do my deep cleaning in the spring and the fall. Springtime is always my biggest deep cleaning. I'll deep clean the back porch, and I definitely deep clean a lot more areas around the house. And then the fall deep cleaning is not quite as much, but after summer I always like to do a deep cleaning in the house before winter, just especially here in Arizona after our monsoon season and all the dust and the wind and the rain and everything. Our house was just really needing a good cleaning. I was so tired of looking out these dirty windows in my office every day, so I was looking forward to getting everything clean today. It's always such a good feeling when your house is deep clean. It's also a lot easier afterwards to keep it clean on a daily basis. So throughout today's video, I want to be sharing fall deep cleaning tips to hopefully give you some inspo and ideas. So first off, it is always helpful to make a list, even though I didn't do that today, but it is really helpful. If you're feeling overwhelmed, you don't know where to start, you can just walk through the house room by room and you can write down each room and then write down underneath of that each thing that you really need to get done in that room. Just making a checklist like that can help you to get a lot done, and you can also work on it throughout the week or throughout an entire month if you want to. And I think I mentioned this in every cleaning video, but for me, it's always really helpful to work room by room and get each room completely finished before moving on to the next room. So I got the office all done, the windows are clean, the floor, everything, and now I'm moving on to the dining room. It gives me that sense of accomplishment that at least one room is completely finished, and kind of gives you that push to keep going and clean the next room and the next room, keep checking things off of your list. Just making a checklist for anything in general is always a great idea. If I know I'm going to have a busy day the next day, before I go to bed that night, I will kind of do a brain dump and write down everything that I need to get done the next day in the notes app. I'll put the check mark circles beside of it so that I can check off each thing the next day, and it's always very helpful and gives you that sense of accomplishment by the end of the day. It is pouring the rain outside right now. It's just been raining off and on all day, random thunder. Such a cozy day. Perfect day to be inside cleaning. So here's a couple of examples of some areas that you could deep clean this fall. You could of course clean your windows inside and out, flip your mattress, vacuum your mattress, deep clean appliances, organize your pantry, really thoroughly vacuum your carpets and couches, wash and disinfect the garbage cans, wipe down your screens, clean the inside of the dishwasher, clean your oven, dust the ceiling fan. I didn't go too crazy with the cleaning this week just because I was limited on time, and so there's definitely a lot more that I could have done. Once I was done with the dining room, I moved on to the living room, and I want to do a little bit of rearranging in the living room as I'm cleaning. We moved Jalen's recliner over on the other side of the room back in February, and he was ready for it to be back in its regular spot. And so while I was cleaning, I decided to go ahead and move it back over there. I put both of our gray chairs back over here beside the piano, and then that was also a good time to vacuum under the chairs and the corners and the mantle, get all of that dusted, cleaned. There was of course some cobwebs and dust and dead bugs and different things like that. So just getting this room refreshed and cleaned, which felt really good to get done and always makes a space feel so much cozier. My mom brought this blanket along with her to give to me on her recent visit, and this blanket is special because it was her saddle blanket that she used on her horse, and then I used it as my saddle blanket for my two horses. It has since been washed, and I thought it would be really neat to put it here in the living room. I'm not sure if this is where I'll keep it. I might move it somewhere else, and then maybe I might get a horse here someday soon and I can use it for a saddle blanket again. We shall see, but it's just special to have in the house. Cleaning these sliding doors inside and outside was the last thing I wanted to get done here in the living room. So the fact that I did this deep cleaning this week is going to be very helpful for when I start prepping for a baby shower that I'm hosting. I'm planning to host that on the back porch, and I'm also planning to probably film all of the prep and the decorating. So stay tuned for that video, probably sometime in October. It was such a beautiful day and a beautiful evening. It just kept raining off and on. There would be thunder And us as Arizonians always really enjoy those types of days because there's usually only a couple months out of the year where we actually get rain. So days like this are special. They're really cozy. I had the screen door open. I had music going while I was cleaning. On our screen in the living room, I just found a playlist for like calming Christian instrumental music, and that was going on in the background. I lit a candle. The rain was coming down. The house was nice and clean. Supper was going on the stove, and all of that just created such a cozy atmosphere in our house that evening. We as moms and homemakers play a big role in creating the atmosphere in our home, and I was really thinking about that a lot on this evening. I want to always be creating a happy home. What a privilege it is to have a family to care for and love, and that cares for me and loves me. I just really enjoy my main job, which is a homemaker and a mom. I always want to be giving that my best, and of course I'm not perfect. I still have bad days where I could have done better. That is just normal, and let's always be trying to find joy in every little thing that we have to do each day. Good morning, everyone. We got over an inch of rain last night, which made for a beautiful morning this morning. It was cloudy, cool, so we were just soaking in this wonderful weather this morning. But today I'm going to be continuing on with the deep cleaning. This morning I went for a mile walk. I just made myself a coffee, and now I am ready to start the deep cleaning. I'm going to be continuing on today here in the kitchen. I have a couple things that I want to deep clean in the kitchen, and then I'm going to clean in the laundry room, the bathroom beside the laundry room, and then our bedroom and our bathroom. So we shall see how much I can get done today, and hopefully this video can continue to give you cleaning motivation and inspiration. The vent hood in your kitchen can get dirty so quickly, especially when you're cooking a lot of meat on your stove and different things like that. I didn't realize how dirty this was until I started taking it apart. I pulled off the vents, took those over to the sink, and I just cleaned them with really hot water. And now I'm cleaning my stove top, trying out that baking soda cream cleanser, which I did really like it. I also really liked the Aunt Fanny stainless steel cleaner. So those will be linked down below in the description box, and also everything that I use in today's video. So I'm just working my way around the kitchen, cleaning a couple of things, not everything, but just the main things that needed to be cleaned in here, like the stove, the backsplash. I needed to wipe down the fronts of the cabinets. I was just kind of spot cleaning those, the upper cabinets and the lower cabinets. I want to pause here to thank the sponsor of today's video, American Financing. They're a trusted national mortgage banker licensed in all 50 states. Their salary-based mortgage consultants actually take the time to walk you through options that fit your financial situation or find a smarter way to handle high-interest debt. The feds have finally dropped the interest rates, and that's great news for American homeowners, and also if you're looking to purchase a home. Many are now seeing options in the low 5s compared to the credit cards charging rates in the 20s or higher. Right now, homeowners are saving an average of $800 a month by using their home equity to pay off those brutal credit cards. American Financing makes the process simple, no upfront fees, and their salary-based mortgage consultants may even be able to help you delay 2 mortgage payments so you can keep cash in your pocket. Everyone's situation is unique though, so the best first step is seeing what options are available for you. If you'd like to explore what's possible, it only takes a quick phone call. You can reach American Financing at 866-889-8121. That's 866-889-8121, or visit americanfinancing.net/Hannah. I really needed to clean this bay window, and so I pulled out these flower pots, which these flower pots are from Walmart. I think they still sell them, and I think now they have them in a couple of different sizes, so I'll link them down below. The succulents that I have left are actually doing really well. I did lose quite a few, but those that survived are strong and thriving. I had a little piece of cactus that I stuck in water the other week, and it actually grew some nice long roots, so I planted that in one of the pots. And then I cleaned the windowsill, vacuumed it out with my little handheld vacuum, wiped it down, and then I cleaned the windows. I wiped off the flower pots because those were pretty dirty. They also had a lot of fly dirt. And while I was doing this, Jalen was outside cleaning the outside of these windows, so it was nice that I didn't have to do that. The last thing I wanted to get done here in the kitchen was to clean my coffee bar area. I needed to run a cleaning cycle on my Breville, and if you want to know exactly how to do this, if you have a Breville, just look it up on YouTube. There's some YouTube shorts that literally show you in a couple of seconds how to do this. It's super simple. I will link the cleaning tabs that I usually use down below. You can get those on Amazon for really cheap, and I need to start doing this more often, but I ran it through 2 cleaning cycles, wiped down the whole machine, and then I also cleaned the water container. I wiped down the countertop, cleaned the fridge. Now that I'm done with the kitchen, I'm moving on to our mud room, laundry room area. Just a couple things I wanted to deep clean in here. I pulled out these shoe baskets, cleaned those out, and then I wanted to clean the floor behind the basket, and also wipe down the floor trim in here, the back door, wipe down the shelf above the washer and dryer, clean that window, and then also clean this little bathroom. I recently cleaned the shower in this bathroom, so didn't have to do that. I was just wiping down the walls, the baseboards, clean the mirror, vanity, the sink, and the toilet. Okay, so I'm now going to clean our bedroom and then our bathroom, our shower. Then this fall deep cleaning will be complete. So here in our bedroom, I started off by making our bed, and then I'm going to be dusting, cleaning the floor, windows, mirrors, everything. But first, I had to do some unpacking. I still hadn't unpacked from our recent trip. We went to Bandon, Oregon for our 13th wedding anniversary. I have a whole video about that trip. If you missed it, I will link it right here on the screen. That was such an amazing trip. So many beautiful views. Make sure that you don't miss that video. I will also link our luggage down below. I love these mono suitcases, and then I also have 2 different carry-on bags that go right over the top of the handle of my suitcase. Makes it really easy when you're going through the airport to just have everything right there that you can push around. You don't have to be wearing a backpack or a bag. And then I also have their packing cubes as well, which are really awesome. Keeps things organized and helps you to be able to fit more in your suitcase. So I'm dusting off our nightstands, lamps, our faux tree that we have over here, our dresser, and then our glass doors really needed to be cleaned after monsoon season, especially the outside of these doors. And then our mirror had gotten really dusty as well. At the end, I vacuumed the floors, and I just did a really good slow vacuum on these floors and the rug, just trying to get every section, and I had it on the highest setting, so just really got these floors nice and clean, and then moved on to our bathroom. I despise cleaning showers, especially this one. I've put it off all day. I'm not going to put it off any longer. I'm just going to get in there and get this done. I'm gonna start with the walls, and I'll be using this scrubber. I got it charged up to almost full battery, and this does come with a couple different attachments. So this one is great for the walls, and then I have some for the floor that are more of like a hard bristle brush. Those are great for tile floors. And we are just gonna start this process. It is not fun to clean all of this tile and to clean these glass sliding doors and the track and everything. We also have really hard water, and so that's what causes the yellow like buildup that you see on the floor and the walls is mainly from our hard water. And then the doors are really bad as well. That's also from the hard water. It is just a difficult job, but one that does need to get done. So there's a lot of different ways you can clean a tiled shower, but this is what has been working good for me lately, and that is to start off by cleaning the walls like you saw me doing. And I just was using like that all-purpose cleaner on the tiles, and then to clean the grout I was using the pink stuff. And then when it comes to the tiled floor, I take that pink stuff and I just smear it all over the tiles, in the grout, the corners, everything. Usually do about half the floor to start off. And I sprinkled on baking soda, then I sprayed on my all-purpose cleaner. You could also even just use baking soda and vinegar, but I let that sit for a couple minutes, and then I went in with the electric scrubber, rinsed off that half of the floor, and then did the other half of the floor. I worked at the bottom of that sliding door, and then I cleaned the inside of these sliding doors, and I had to use that little yellow scrubber pad. It's made for glass, it doesn't scratch, so I used that with the Miss Meyer's baking soda cleanser, and that worked really well. There was a couple of spots where I had to use the pink stuff as well to get off that hard water buildup, but this was quite a process. I finally got it done, and I say it every time I clean the shower, but I need to do it more often. If I would just do it every couple of weeks, it would not get this bad. That is where I'm going to close off today's fall deep cleaning video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and hopefully it just gave you some fall cleaning motivation and inspiration today. Thank you each so much for watching, and I will see you next week with a new video. Bye!